What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz says that Anthony Joshua will run and try to win a via decision. He says he thinks the British boxer is going to get on his bicycle in the rematch December 7th and be on the run instead of standing toe-to-toe in the middle of the ring to trade shots like they did the first time in June when Ruiz shocked the sports world and scored a 7th round finish. He says he's going to try it and win off points, especially since he's going to be running around. My job is to cut off the ring, and that's exactly what we're training for, Ruiz told the press conference at the Boxing Club East Village in San Diego. He says, I don't really care about what he's doing, We have to worry about what we're doing. He has to train hard. I feel that he has more pressure than I do. I just have to do what I have to do and just let my hands go and focus. Those are the words of Andy Ruiz in regards of Anthony Joshua. So, what Andy Ruiz basically said he gave his whole game plan, his fight plan to, cut off the ring, throw many punches. That's why he's losing weight. He wants to be in shape to throw that many punches so he can cut the ring off, bring the fight to Anthony Joshua, because he said Anthony Joshua was going to run around. Now, let me counterpunch this. I see that Andy Ruiz, and I can look straight through this, right? Ruiz is a fighter, a Mexican fighter, Mexican-American fighter, whatever. He has a Mexican mentality. Think about the words, the terms that he's using. 1, run. Mexicans, 2, toe-to-toe, right? In the middle of the ring and trade shots. Those are words a Mexican uses because those are the way Mexicans train. Those are what Mexicans respect. That's why I mean by Mexican mentality. If you're doing anything other than that, Mayweather's a runner, Lara's a runner, right? A lot of people are regarded as runners instead of fighters in a Mexican's mindset because a Mexican comes forward. You know what I mean? It reminds me of, it was a fight between Canelo Alvarez and Alfredo Angulo. El Perro, right? And the caption was toe-to-toe. So that was a big thing. That was a big selling point. And this was actually when Canelo came back from his first loss to Mayweather, right? By majority decision, right? So those are type terms that Mexicans use to describe a desired fighting style for a Mexican, okay? That's what's acceptable. That's what has cojones, machismo. Those type of things Mexicans appreciate, right? Now, one thing that they don't is a fighter that's using the ring that don't go toe-to-toe, that boxes you from the outside, take a walk around the block a lot of times, uses the whole ring, make you miss, make you pay, get out of there. Evade when the shit gets too hot. In their mind, that's running. And it tells me from the first fight, he said, well, he's going to run around. But then instead of going toe-to-toe like the first fight, but at the first fight, we did see Joshua use the ring, and he didn't like that. Because Andy Ruiz, like most Mexican fighters, don't like to chase you, don't like to use their skills to cut off the ring, because it's not the most popular, because it's difficult. See, when people use the ring like that, they do that, for one, to evade your punches, but for two, people forget this, they do that to frustrate you. And then what happens when you're frustrated? You start losing focus. So if Joshua, in other words, he uses the ring, keeps him mid-bay, keeps him long, like Rob McCracken told him to do, double, triple up on that jab, and then Andy kind of tries to come in, bow, catches him with a right hand, because it's easy to do. He was doing it up in the point he got hurt. That's even at when he got knocked down. He just tried to go too far in and engage. My thoughts about Joshua, though, doing that, I don't think I think he will start doing that, but I think, say the crowd starts to boo, Joshua doesn't have a mindset of using the ring and just boxing to a victory. I don't think in this fight, because I think it's something pinned up inside him, built up inside him, that he wants to hurt Ruiz. Okay. But I feel that Ruiz doesn't want, maybe he's saying this because he wants Anthony Joshua to hear it, so Anthony Joshua will throw him off the game plan, right? Because nobody wants to cut off the ring, really, to a fighter that wants to only box, okay? So both guys are losing weight. I know Joshua's losing weight. I've seen Andy Ruiz. I'll talk about that in another video because I just recently saw him. But I see these guys are being trained to fight a certain fight. But it is a smart move by Team Ruiz to take the fight to Joshua. Okay? He's not at home. And I think the game plan is for him to throw more punches to convince the fans that if it does go 12 rounds, hey, I threw more punches. My effective aggressiveness was on point. You know, I landed more shots. You know what I mean? So I think that's the type of fight that I'm going to take to Anthony Joshua, because Anthony Joshua is going to run anyway. You know what I mean? He's going to run. He's going to use the ring. He's going to fight with that style that I'm not comfortable with, or I don't like as much. Okay, and then that's what he meant. So me looking at analyzing what I just read to you guys, Ruiz doesn't like people that use the ring. You know, that's why he lost to Parker. You know, he doesn't like a guy that knows how to use the ring and box him instead of goes toe-to-toe. Everybody would love a toe-to-toe fight, especially when you know you can hurt that fighter. Andy Ruiz got knocked flat on his back, people, and got up and tapped that ass. What does that mean? That means he knows psychologically, yes, Joshua can crack, but I know I can hurt Joshua too. My best bet is to get him in an exchange so I can hurt him like I did the first fight. And I think the height and the reach and all the puzzle, how these guys fit together, if Ruiz is close range and he throws that left hand, is going to hit that same spot on Joshua. Because it's just the way he is, because he's punching upward, right? He didn't have to overextend to throw that punch. If Joshua's right here, close range, he can throw that left, catch him in the same spot, hurt him all over again. Boom, temple shot, right? It just lines up like that. And I know Andy Ruiz and Manny Robles, those guys have already, if you close range, just throw the left. You know, throw the left in between his punches. You're faster than him. You know, Joshua throws 1, 2, 3, 4, whereas Andy Ruiz throws 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So it's easy to pinpoint and punch in between these punches. You know what I mean? It's doable. You know, and I think they're banking on that. But I think this here is another feeder. I think that Andy Ruiz, wants to, I think, poke at Joshua, calling him a runner. And then, of course, the machismo, the Mexican mentality, if you run, you're a coward. That's why people didn't like the Canelo-Golovkin fight, the first fight, because they didn't respect Canelo using the ring. But what I learned when Canelo used the ring and then boxed and then countered, right, and moved, we seen what Golovkin could do, and he couldn't do much. We seen how limited of a fighter he was. But then you had Mexicans like Jose Feliciano, the singer. He said in a concert after that, no Mexican goes backwards. Golovkin won. You see what I'm saying? That's the Mexican mindset. That's what's acceptable to the Mexican fans. Okay, so that's my counterpunch on this. If Joshua was smart, he would do that. He would use the ring and box. That would be a smarter way to go. But of course, this is not what Andy Ruiz wants. So we're going to see what Andy Ruiz is able to do to adapt to this new style of fighting that Anthony Joshua will implement on December 7th. So we will see on the day, people. You guys tell me what you think about Andy Ruiz's comments. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been counterpunched. Peace.